All right, welcome to Proverbs 19. Without any further ado, let's jump in. Starting with verse 3, it says, "When a man's folly brings his way to ruin, his heart rages against the Lord." And so what this is talking about is, someone that, is constantly doing, ignorant stuff, they're making, these mistakes, and then they blame God for their mistakes. It's kind of the idea here is the person is digging this metaphorical hole, and then they fall into it, and then they start cursing God, like, "Why did you put this hole here? This is all your fault." When really, again, it was that person's mistakes and their ignorance that led them to fall into the very hole that they dug in the first place. Looking at the next one, verse 4, it says, "Wealth brings many new friends, but a poor man is deserted by his friend." Short on friends, win the Powerball. You'll have tons of friends. They'll be lining up to say hello and to catch up on old times, which may or may never have happened. And kind of related to number 6 or to number 4 is actually verse 6. It says, "Many seek the favor of a generous man, and everyone is a friend to a man who gives gifts." So everyone wants to be around the person that's giving stuff out. I mean, if you got a generous fellow down the road or a generous lady down the road, and they're always giving stuff away, like everybody was, yeah, let's be friends because there's free stuff involved. And so 4 and 6 are kind of related there. Again, Proverbs is very big. It's very big on wealth being actually a good thing. It speaks highly of wealth because generally, in general, not always, but in general, a righteous person is doing things the right way, and they're doing things the smart way, and they're doing things that are driven by wisdom. You're more likely to be wealthy, as opposed to a fool who's always making mistakes, or someone who's lazy, so on and so forth. So Proverbs again speaks highly of the wealthy, and these two speak about being wealthy and about being generous. Let's look at another one. Look at verse 13. It says, "A foolish son is ruin to his father, and a wife's quarreling is a continual dripping of water." So this speaks to two relationships. So first, you got the parent-child relationship, and a child that is, on the path of folly, is a fool, always getting in trouble, is, they're a headache to their parents. They're getting those late night phone calls because, Billy or Sally's in trouble again. Can you come, pick them up, wherever, so on and so forth. It's stressful, and it causes ruin to the father or to the mother, to the parent. And then there's a second relationship here that's mentioned as well, and it's talks about a wife's quarreling as a continual dripping of water, and so, or of rain. And this is talking about nagging. A wife's nagging to a husband is just like this continuous. It's like that drippy faucet, drip, 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 and it slowly just makes you crazy. But ladies, it's not just your nagging. This goes both ways as well. So ladies, your husband's constant nagging, or maybe even more accurately, your husband's laziness. So his you tell him 1,000 times to take the trash out, and each time he doesn't do it, it's like drip, drip, drip. I'll do it. He doesn't do it. Drip, drip, drip. It drives you crazy. So it's the same idea. Again, it goes both ways on that one. And let's look at one more. 24. It says, "The sluggard buries his hand in the dish and will not even bring it back to his mouth." And so we've talked about it before. We'll talk about it again. Proverbs is very, very hard on the lazy person. Speaks very critically of the lazy person. And the idea here is that the lazy person, and this is sarcasm, right? And so this is why I relate to it so well. Sarcasm is my love language. Ask my wife. She'll tell you. Proverbs is very sarcastic when it comes to many things, but especially the lazy person. And here what they're saying is the lazy person, they're so lazy. They'll put their hand in a bowl, but they're too lazy to even bring it up to their mouth. That's how lazy they are. Again, there's sarcasm there, but I think it does speak some truth, and hopefully that's not you. Maybe you know this person. Again, Proverbs is very critical of them. So, Proverbs 19.